episode of Fridaysews here on my channel, The Stitchy Wife. I'm Elizabeth, and welcome to all of you that are new here, and very welcome back to all of you that have been here before and kept me company those last months since I began. I am so excited to have started this journey, and I can't tell you how much this motivates me to get up out of bed in the mornings. This last week has been quite a week again, and I was almost about not to film anything today. But I decided to try every week to film, even if it doesn't get that long, and even if it is that much I've done. Maybe just a little. Maybe more for me than for you, to be honest, because this motivates me, and all your wonderful and beautiful and I haven't words enough for what your comments and your likes mean, because I never thought it would mean like this much, but it does. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't say it anywhere else. It means so much to all of you that reach out to me. Well, what has happened this week? I have tried to figure out the perfect pattern for my dream fabric, the one I showed you this, well, it turned out to be Wednesday, I think, so it's only 2 days ago since I left the other video, since I have edited that and it was finished. It was supposed to be done for last Fridaysews, but as I told you in that video, we have had incredible technical difficulties, and I'm hoping this Fridaysews will work out better for us. But what I've been doing when the electricity hasn't worked, and when my brain hasn't worked, and when our computer hasn't worked, is to try and figure out a great pattern for my dream fabric. I was almost certain that it would be the dolphin jacket that made by Kath had made in her, the same kind of fabric, and it looks so beautiful on her, and it looked like my dream coat in my dream fabric. But luckily enough, I twirled it. I was almost about not to, but there is something wrong with that fabric that pattern on me, and I can not quite figure out what it is. But I tried different versions of it. I added some length to the sleeves, and to the length of the coat, and length to the, this part. And I used less fabric, and yeah, I will show you a picture of me in that wall and judge for yourself. I finally thought that it might have something to do with the bust dart, actually, because it feels quite square. If you look at the pictures I'm showing you now, it feels like it is a bit square on me, and I don't know if it is the case, but I feel like I should have twice the boobs that I have to fill this out. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have absolutely no idea if that is the problem with that pattern, but for me, because it looks so beautiful on Kath, and I can't get that image out of my head, and I wanted one like that. Well, I decided to give another pattern a go, and another one I've been dying to do is the cozy jacket, I think it is called, from Patternscout, that is it. And I've had quilted fabric. I wanted to make it as kind of a cardigan version, and I wanted to make it as a jacket. I'm almost finished with one of a very wearable toile kind of jacket version of it, but that made me realize that pattern wouldn't work either, because that is a pattern with dropped shoulders, and those shoulders were way too dropped to suit the thick denim sherpa fabric. It is beautiful in the blue fabric I've used, that is actually an old bed, what do you call it, bedspread now, a blanket, kind of a blanket I bought in a store here in Sweden 2 years ago maybe. It's almost, it feels like it's made of double gauze, 4 times with some kind of layering in between. Hang on a minute, I could show you how the fabric looks actually, because it's quite interesting, and I've been trying to figure out how I can redo that in using fabric gauze, because I love the feeling of that blanket on me as a coat or as a jacket. Hang on a minute. Here we have that fabric. I don't know how I can get it to focus. Can you see there? It is 1 layer of double gauze, I think, and it is 1 layer of thin quilting batting, I think it is. Hang on a minute and I will separate it for you. No, it isn't double gauze. I see it now. It is a single layer. It's almost like I try and cover my face up, and so the camera won't find me. Here you can see it. Can you see it? It is almost like 1 layer there, some batting, and another layer of a single layer of gauze. But maybe to make it a bit thicker, you can see it's a bit flimsy. I will insert a picture here of me in the almost finished jacket. I haven't finished the neckline. I don't know if I'm gonna do the color version or the hood version yet. I can get just enough. I had enough fabric just to get 1 layer of a hood, but I don't know how it will look. And that is not my main focus at the moment, because the main focus is my denim sherpa jacket and what pattern I'm about to use. Well, then I started to think about drafting my own, but after this week and my brain not working with me at all, I figured I would just make a mess. I've never drafted that kind of patterns before, and yeah, it wouldn't be a great idea. I didn't think so. So I've decided to look in my old magazines that I have, and I finally found a magazine from August last year, a German magazine called Trends. And me and my sister used to buy that even so long ago, since she lived in Germany for about 20 years ago, for 3 or 4 years, and she always bought that pattern magazine then, because in Sweden we didn't have that many patterns or pattern magazines at all at that time. So that was very exciting every time she got home and had that one with her. And I've decided to buy one last year just to perk myself up and get a bit more happy, because patterns, fabrics and sewing always makes me feel better. I think you know what I mean. Here we have it. And yes, it is this kind of pattern magazine. Don't you just love them? And there are no seam allowance either. I'm starting to get the hang of adding seam allowance myself that I think I need and so on. So I'm actually not that bothered about not having a seam allowance, but the tracing of those patterns isn't that much fun, especially not if you're tired. I will show you the coat. I should have prepared this, of course. They have a lot of beautiful patterns here actually, and I hope to make some more of this here. What do you think about that? It is supposed to be made in a teddy material, so that was helped me to get my hopes up that it might work. I will show you the correct line drawing. Here we have it. And I have cut it out in an old bedsheet, and I will show you now. I will insert a picture now. At first it was also it almost looked like there were supposed to be dropped shoulders, but there weren't. I really looked at the pattern and there was supposed to be that. I just think I traced the larger size, and I don't think that was the correct size for me. I still haven't figured out what size I'm supposed to trays, especially not in these kind of magazines, since they only have 3 sizes, and that is a big not good thing about them. That doesn't sound like a word, but you get what I mean. And I draw 46, and there are approximately, I think, at least 2 inches too much over the bust, and 10 inches, no, not 10 inches, 4 inches, 10 centimeters, 4 inches too much over the hips. But I thought to be on the safe side, since it is a thicker fabric, and I think it works for the most part of it. But the shoulder seams aren't great, so I decided to reduce them. So you can see here on the inserted pictures that I will try and lay it on top of me talking to you. And if you look at the shoulder seams on this side, I will try and point to it. I hope I get this correct. That is a bit too much. And here you have it on the other shoulder, where I have taken away 1 inch and redrafted the, what do you call it, the sleeve? The arm side. I redrafted the arm side after the new sleeve head. And I actually think it works out. So I am not quite there yet, but I hope that I will be till next Friday, or maybe a midweek chat if I have the energy to do that next week, to show you how I'm getting along, because I'm actually thinking about cutting it this weekend. So please stop me if you think I'm doing a very wrong thing, and let me know in the comments below, because it would mean so much if you see something that I don't see, and I'm so afraid that I just want to cut in the fabric and make a coat of it and snuggle up in it, so I don't see the problems with it. So please help me if you see anything. That would be amazing. Otherwise, I will hopefully have a maybe finished coat till next Friday, and half finish in the beginning of the week if I'm able to publish anything then. I will try and do it, because even if it's not that long of a video, I will try and publish more, and to get me up and going, because it has been quite a down period now again, and I don't want to be there. And you cheer me up, and you give me the energy I need. So thank you again for that. I won't be going on about my health all the time. All of a sudden, this has been what I didn't want it to be, and I don't want you to need to hear all about it all the time. So I'm sorry. I will try not to speak so much more about it. But I almost forgot to tell you what I'm wearing today. It is my beloved Hug hoodie, and with the standard color. I didn't have enough fabric to make a hoodie of it, and I even made the slow pants. That is why I didn't have enough fabric for the hoodie. So I will put in a picture of me so you can see the whole thing. And I am actually in the beginning of filming a tutorial on the Hug hoodie, because I've made about 5 of them since the pattern was released, and I loved it ever since. And I haven't actually understand how come not that many have realized that this pattern exists. But all of a sudden it seems like a lot of people have gotten the, opened their eyes and found it. I don't know if there is something about social media that all of a sudden you see it. And I can't find any tutorial online about it. And I thought, why not dip my toes in this and try it and see if I can manage to, at least if it's not actual tutorial, you can sew along with me, because I'm about to make my 6th one of both of these. And I will start with a Hug hoodie, because I think that is the most special one, even though the slow pants has the amazing feature on the sides too, with different coloring and color blocking. So yeah, it is a great pattern with great instructions. But I know that there are a lot of people out there that rather use visual aids instead of reading how to make it. So I thought, why not try? We'll see how it goes, and please be kind if you're watching it. I will talk to Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door though, because she talked about it in her live this Sunday, and I've already started my tutorial then. But she got a few questions about making a tutorial, and I would definitely not want to step on anyone's toes and make it. If she had planned to make it, then I will do another thing, because that isn't that. She's so great at tutorials, so if she had the opportunity to do it, she would definitely be an amazing teacher in it. And then I will do something else. But I will talk to her and see. What else have I been up to? And I'm planning my vlog regarding So Frugal 22, which is supposed to be on March 3rd. Very exciting, and I have a lot of ideas, and I'm trying to get them down to 5 or 6 ideas and try to figure out how I would film that video and what I would make of it. So that is very exciting, and that is a good project doing when you're not when you don't have the energy to be up and sewing. That is a great thing. What else have I been doing? I've actually gotten some more fabrics from a local Swedish fabric shop. I can show you if you're interested. It is beautiful fabric. It is mainly actually made for, I bought them before Christmas on their sale, and it was supposed to be for 2 pattern tests, and the pattern tests are already finished, but those patterns are so great that I will actually use these fabrics to make new ones. I may be able to show you a sneak peek here what the patterns might be. Hang on a minute and I will get the fabrics. The fabric store is called Ohlssons tyger. Tyger means fabric in Swedish. And I think it is an old family company, and they had a sale before Christmas and I ordered from them then. And they have great quality, and the only thing I can't help but compare to Andrea's, and the pontis aren't that amazing as hers is, because she has an amazing quality in her pontis and all her fabrics. But maybe I'm a bit biased because I kind of know her. I feel like I know her a bit. So crazy. I've only spoken to her about 3 or 4 times, but she's such an amazing person and so warm and so welcome. I can't say that word, but I think you know what I mean. I really, really like her. Back to the fabrics. I don't have any problems talking too much. You see that, right? Even though I'm very tired and completely out of it today. Thank you for staying put and listen to me and hang around. It means a lot, as I said before. Well, here we have the first fabric. It is a viscose crepe, it's called. Rayon crepe, I think you could say. Great drape. And I thought, my husband actually don't like flowery fabrics because he think it's most often looks a bit frumpy and a bit old. So I thought, now I figured a new thing out, because I know it's kind of silly, because, and he would never say anything if I make anything in the fabrics. The main thing is that I like the fabrics, but you can't help but like to dress for the man in your life. Am I so crazy thinking that? I want him to look at me and think it's beautiful. That is all. It may be silly and it's a bit cheesy, but that is me. And yeah, I can't help it. But when he saw this, he said, well, the flowers normally have leaves on them, right? So I guess he doesn't like it that much, but I really like this fabric. So this is definitely going to be a dress or something like that. I have 2.5 meters and the drape is beautiful. It's maybe a bit dark for the spring, but I thought, why not have it as a wearable toile fabric? That would be great, I thought. And we probably will have a lot of grey days still here in Sweden. Today it's sun, so I actually had to cover the windows to be able to film this, and that is amazing. It's such a wonderful feeling to feel like we have too much sun, so we had to cover the windows. It means that spring is on its way, even though I almost don't dare to say it, because I said it last week, and all of a sudden I looked outside the window and there was just grey and white everywhere, and we had about 15 centimeters of snow. Yeah, the snow rained and blew away yesterday, but you never know. But they've actually promised sun today and tomorrow, so I will concentrate on that, and that is it. Here we have the first ponte. I don't know if you can see. It has great drape to it, and the coloring. I really like the color, even though it's at the brown end of it, but that is the only colors they had left, these two. I've ordered two. Sorry, my husband is just arriving and there will probably be a lot of noise. I will see how much more. Here we have the white, cream maybe. And finally, my pink viscose. And this was a big remnant piece, very cheap. But I really like the drape of it. I have 5 meters of this. It was only £3 per meter, so it was a great price. Hang on a minute, I just have to say hello to him and see if I can scare him off to be out in the garden for a few minutes more. Here we go. This was the last. This is also 100% viscose rayon. I don't know the difference between viscose and rayon. If anyone can enlighten me, please, because I would really like to know the difference, if there is any, or if it just is different words on it. My plan on this was to dye it, because when I saw it, they described it as dark fuchsia, maybe, or dark pink or neon pink or something like that. So it was definitely going to be a trolling fabric, because I need viscoses to try out dresses and so on, because I want to make a lot more woven this year. But when I got it, I kind of liked it. What do you think? Does it suit me? I'm actually thinking about, I'm going to take part in the live sew along that Rachel from Stitched Up is having this weekend, and she is making the, all of a sudden it's all gone, the name of the blouse. I will put it down here. What I am trying to do, because I never sewn that blouse, but I love the look of it, both the ones that Andrea had made and the, what is it called? Can't get it out of my head now. Well, try to forget it. I will try and lengthen the sleeves. I'm probably silly about that too, but I am 5'11", as I said before, and all my life, when I bought something ready to wear, it has always been too short. So 3/4 sleeves is probably the worst, or bracelet length, it's even worse, is the worst kind of sleeve length I could ever have, because I always get back to the days when I can't, my sleeves isn't long enough, and I kept on dragging and pulling in them and nothing happened. And from the day that I've been sewing most of my clothes, I have always promised myself to never sew anything that is too short. So I am actually going to try and lengthen that pattern piece and see how it goes. I have nothing to lose if I take a fabric that isn't too precious. And that made me think of this. Maybe I can use this, because as I said, first I was planning on tie-dyeing or something like that, but now I think I will sew it up with a cotton thread. That is the only thing to think about if you sew the pattern. If you sew the clothes before you dye it, use cotton thread, because I've done it so many times, and the top stitching and all that doesn't get dyed if you're using the dyes for natural fibers, and that is what you can use and do it in the washer machine when you are having natural fibers in the fabrics. So yeah, I don't know, but what do you think? Do you think I should use it as is, or maybe just sew it as this blouse and see how I feel about it. But I will see if I manage to redraft the pattern piece before tomorrow, if I have the energy, before Rachel's so long, and I will take part. Otherwise I will just sit beside and maybe knit and sew, or just look at her and what she's doing and take some notes and hints and sew it later on. I really like her lives. She's so engaging, and so I love her channel too. She's an amazing inspiration. Well, that is probably it. It isn't as long as normal, and it isn't as much as normal, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And I would love it if you haven't subscribed, if you would do so, because it is yet another step, and it is another goal, even though that isn't the main thing with the channel, but it would make it a bit easier. And the more that likes and subscribe, the more visibility I get in the YouTube world, and that would mean a lot. But for now, take care, have a wonderful weekend, and love each other, and I hope you get a lot of sewing done, and if not sewing, just thinking about sewing and looking at patterns. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for listening, and